Yo YouTube, I am back again. It's Mr. 200 meters. I am here today to do a video you lot have asked me to do. I'm gonna do a all things photography video, as you can tell by the title. While you're there, subscribe. Cool, sweet.
Whipping water, making waves. I might fly to MIA. I ain't talking paper planes.
So I got some questions sent to me on Snapchat because that's where I put it out. People who are into photography or a little bit of videography, what they want to do, etc. They said I should make a video, so I thought I'd make a quick 5 to 10 minute video regarding all of that. Sweet. So the first question I received was, what camera and lenses do you recommend for beginners under £700? There's lots of cameras you can get, depends on what you're looking for. My personal favorite, as I'm using right now, is the 600D and the 700D. You could potentially get a second-hand 70D as well. Those are Canons. You can also get some Nikons as well. I don't really like Nikons that much for beginner cameras, and I'll explain later on into the video. But I believe 700Ds and 600Ds are on the market right now. I think brand new you can get them for about £500, I believe. It changes all the time. But second hand you can get them for like £300, £400. 70Ds are obviously higher quality, increased megapixels, and you're looking at probably second hand, you're looking at £700. Yeah. So let's stick to the 600 and 700. You can also get some like 1200Ds, 700Ds, you can get 60Ds. Yeah, there's all the cameras and stuff you can get, so there's a lot of cameras you can get. Depends on what you want to use your camera for. If it's strictly for pictures, then you can get like some budget cameras and take snaps. If you're trying to use it for dual purposes such as video as well as photography, and say you're doing YouTube like me, then you can get something along the lines of 600 and 700Ds, which are good for mic, sound quality, as well as video quality, as well as pictures, as you can see. Sweet. Best camera for clothing photography and the ideal lens for that. There isn't an ideal lens or an ideal camera for clothing photography. It depends if you're doing photography where you need to blow the pictures or the clothing out for some reason. Really truly you can use any camera really that takes a nice photo that you being the photographer can frame it really nicely. So it's all up to your eye. Street photography, I would recommend a 50mm, which is this 50mm. This is around £70 second hand, or £90 second hand, something like that. You can get them brand new. I don't really believe in that sometimes. The reason I say this is my ideal one if I was going to do street photography or clothing photography is that I wouldn't have to stand very close to my subject, so I can take a picture of quite far away and I would actually just have to focus on framing the shot. This doesn't have the ability to zoom in or out. It's literally just a point and shoot, and it's fixed at that length. What's great about it is that it has a low depth of field. Basically it blurs out the background very, very nicely, as you can see behind me. Yeah, it's really good for keeping your subject very in focus, and it really does this great thing in just blurring out everything else. Yeah, that's my ideal, just because you just get some great quality photos out of that, and it looks really nice, really crisp, really dramatic, nice. There's other lenses you can use as well, but for clothing photography, literally it's up to you. Depends what you're using, depends on your eye, depends on what look you're going for. Is getting a flash necessary for photography? I would say yes, because you're gonna end up taking photos in dark areas, dark times. Flashes are just essential for helping to neutralize noise in a photo, so that means you don't have to turn up your ISO very loud or very high, so the subject can remain as crisp as possible. Also in daylight as well, sometimes you might need a flash just to give a little bit of highlight to the photos and make the melanin pop, cool. Editing software on a budget, I use Lightroom. I don't know about how much that is going on for right now, I can't lie, I might put it up. But I would say if you can, invest in some good software, because that'll last you for life. Because for Lightroom especially, you get to build presets over time. So every time you edit a photo and you like the way it looks, you can save that as a preset and then actually input it onto a different photo that has the same sort of things at a different time. So it's really useful for that. Really useful for that. But yeah, I'll say Lightroom, but I can't really say a price too much because generally the softwares you're looking at, the basic ones are Photoshop, Lightroom. I think there's a new one, Affinity, that came out, but that might be expensive, I'm not too sure. So they're generally around the same price, really and truly. Depends on what style of editing you do. If you're just a picture editor like myself, which I just edit, I can change the individual, manipulate the individual parts of the photo. You can use Lightroom for that. If you really want to go into detail and really change the photo itself, you can also go into Photoshop. So it depends on your look and your style and what you want to do, whether it be like magazine covers or whatever you want to do. Look into the software for yourself. I would say I can't really advise you what's best, as you know, the way I use it might not be the desired way it might be wanted to use. Yeah. Pressing. How do you press for a photo shoot? How did I learn how to press my photography for when I became a business? I have a photography page, or I have a photography business, and it's called Noir Visuals. Yeah, this is my brand. This is everything I do. Everything regarding photography is under that name. And how did I end up pricing for a photo shoot? How did I end up getting to that point of, yeah, this is how much I want to charge? First of all, really look at your level of skill and be honest with yourself. And be honest with your skill level, because you don't want to cheat yourself, and you don't want to cheat others. Ultimately, you want to earn an honest living. For me, I looked at the quality of work I did at the time, and then I progressed over time from when I started to when I finished, my editing time, the hours I took behind the camera, the hours I took whilst doing the camera work when the shoot time was present. And then I looked into what I was content to charge, like what am I happy to charge people for. And so some people charge per hour, some people charge per day, per shoot, per picture. Yeah, you could charge like £1–2 per picture. That's a good way to do it, but yeah, it depends. So that'll be a lot of pressure on yourself to take 300 amazing photos which might not be used, or they might not want to pay for, etc, etc. I'll put links in the description to videos that help me to quantify my worth. But yeah, I think that's an individual choice to make. I think for me, I came to my price, which some people see as expensive, but then in some situations it's not expensive at all. I gave a price of what's worth the time I spend editing, because I'm an editing heavy photographer. So clients I work with generally would want pictures which are very manipulated, not even man manipulated, just dramatic of some sense, memorable is a nice word. So yeah, look into what you do, your style, how much time you take off the camera, and yeah, try and feel like if you're happy to, you know, to shoot for £10, do that, but don't devalue yourself as well, because you're creative. So obviously always account for, you know, you operating the camera, your skill level behind that camera, your understanding of the lighting, the camera, etc. And just, yeah, man, you're like, don't get cheated, man, and don't cheat yourself. Recommended brands for cameras. So there's obviously basic brands, you know, like there's Panasonic, Sony's, Canons and Nikons. I would recommend Canon for myself, as I'm a YouTuber as well as a photographer. So on a budget, it works for me both ways. If I'm going into higher end photography, I'll probably go for a Nikon, even though I don't like those bad boys. But at this stage where my understanding of cameras is so much greater, bearing in mind I didn't learn photography or anything like that. I came into photography and I became good at it through what I did. Then eventually I grew my understanding in every aspect of it, and then people just liked my work. And yeah, but lower level Canons are really nice, even higher end Canons are very nice. But you know, the clients I've worked with like professional people, clients like top level, tend to see photographers that, you know, shoot for newspapers or shoot for big corporations. They tend to use Nikons. Reason being, yeah, when you're ready to pay that money for a Nikon, you can really get a nice Nikon. And Nikon gives a different type of color, gives a more accurate color than Canon, I feel. But Canon is just nicer for general things. Why I chose Canon personally for me over Nikon was because when adjusting your ISO, for example, to 200, for example, or 400, Canon allows you to physically, as I can see on my screen right now, I can physically see the difference. Whereas Nikon doesn't allow you to physically see it on the screen. You have to just take a picture first and you know the difference. So that was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it. I think that covers it, hopefully, for you. So this question is, any recommendations to where you can learn photography, etc online? If you actually look on Instagram, if you're a photography head, just by following photography pages, etc, you'll find that you end up seeing lots of things that are relatable to you just by the coding and just search history stuff. I've been seeing a lot that Canon and other photography companies tend to do a lot of free courses, so I think the best thing for you to do is Google and find any free courses online. Usually Adobe do a lot of stuff like that, do a lot of free courses for a certain amount of time, which might help your understanding. You can learn just by YouTube alone. YouTube is an amazing platform to search exactly what you want to use and want to learn and want to do. That was very key for me in my development. I didn't really look at any photographer. I knew what I wanted to produce and I produced it. If I didn't know, I'd go just YouTube it and Google it. Our generation is just lucky to have such a platform. Anything that helped me, I'll try post in the description box. If not, message me directly on one of my socials and I'll get that to you. What is better to invest in, lenses or a camera? I would say initially, depends on your use of a camera. So for me, I invest more in lenses. Right now I've got two lenses with me. I've got a 50mm and I've got a 35 to 80mm. These are like one of my favorite lenses, especially this one. And I also work with a 10 to 22mm or 10 to 20mm Sigma lens, which is a wide angle lens, and obviously the one you're looking at me through is a 18 to 55 stock lens. I invest in lenses really. Lenses are more expensive and lenses will last you over time because lenses produce the look. The camera is the machine which gives you the options of ISO, etc, or frame rates, megapixels, all that. So initially I would say it's best to invest in your lenses because they'll last you much longer times. Bodies, they get outdated, you have to replace them. But also if you have a camera that works for what you're doing, then you don't even have to, you might not even need to change for a while. So that's what I'd advise to do, because you find a lot of top-end lenses very expensive, but they give you such amazing looks. So you have like L lenses which are like in the ranges of like 600, 700 pounds plus, but they're basically like stock lenses. They're like 18 to 55 or they're awkward ranges, but not awkward, they're very like, obviously they're programmed, I don't know, but they're like stuff like 28 to 35 mils or 28mm lenses that just have there's just a certain je ne sais quoi about them, innit? There's just something sweet about them, do you know what I'm saying? And obviously the aperture as well, lots of different things. If you guys don't know what these words mean, Google them, because I can break them down to you, but they tend to sometimes get a little bit confusing. Invest in your lenses, I'd say. Then eventually if you're trying to go into, say, printing with your photography, you might definitely need a more expensive camera, because the higher megapixels, the better you can you know, print out, blow out images. So final question, what's the best way to get yourself out there in terms of your photography work? I believe because obviously we live in a social networking era where everything is just easily accessible online, that's the best place to put yourself out. Showcase your work and let your work speak for itself. It's as simple as going on Twitter, for example, finding photographers and just retweeting their work. They will probably look at yours, check you out. If they like it, they like it. You know, if they don't, they don't. And obviously go to events and network. You know, always have your camera visible when you're around. You know, sometimes people just go ask people, oh, you're a cameraman, oh, can I see your work? I might need you for something. Put yourself in the right places. Networking is very, very, very key in everything. That really helped me, because when I started, I just happened to put myself in the right places, talk to the right people and mention the right things. Actually, it came to a position where someone gave me one opportunity to do an event. I covered that event, and then that spiraled me to where I am now, because they just liked what I did. They gave me another chance. People saw me doing that. They're seeing me, they're saying, oh, he does photography now, cool. I definitely need to shout him. And if he's doing all these events, I definitely need to shout him. He's looking like the guy, cool. Then you do most things and people see it around. That alone is enough for people to obviously consider you. At the same time, let your work speak for itself. Post it, create a portfolio. There's lots of free portfolios online. Instagram is a nice way. You can even do that simply. That's the best way to get yourself out there. That's this video complete. I hope I answered your questions, you know. But yeah, it's been real. It's been Mr. 200 meters. I said that a lot. Cool. Yeah, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, contact me. Hope I could help you. If you guys need me to do another video, or I'll do like an Instagram live one day for you lot, shout me and I'll break it down in a little bit more detail. But hope you guys liked the video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. all of that, you know. Cool. You don't take care of yourself. Yep, eat healthy, clean your hair, clean your skin, wear deodorant because it's summer. To God be the glory.
Trap line going crazy. Trap
Yeah.
line going crazy.
Bye.
Got it booming like Metro, yeah. Got it booming like Metro.